Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today Hadith, again from Kitab al-Iman, the chapter of Iman. The Prophet Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, narrated from him, Arba'un man kunna fihe kana munafiqan khalisan, wa man kana fihi khallatun minhunna kanat fihi khallatun min nifaqin. Whoever has the following characteristic will be a pure munafiq, perfect munafiq, hypocrite. And whoever has anyone, he has one characteristic of the hypocrite. Hatta yadaha, until he leave it. And now what are there? Idha haddatha kadaba, whenever he speaks, Idha haddatha kadaba. Whenever he speaks, he tells a lie. Wa idha ahada ghadar. Whenever he make a promise, he betrayed. Wa idha wa'ada akhlafa. And when he make a covenant, he break it. Wa idha khasama fajara. And whenever he dispute, he use abusive language, insulting other, abusive language. So these are the four khisal of munafiqeen. So if someone make a covenant and make a promise and then break it, this is the sign of munafiq. If someone speaks and tells a lie, this is a sign of munafiq. Whenever someone break the trust of someone, this is the sign of nifaq. And when someone use abusive language in a quarrel, in a dispute, this always abusive language in an insulting manner, this is also the sign of munafiq. Now, munafiq, in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna al-munafiqina fi dharki al-asfali min al-nar. Munafiq or hypocrites, they will be on the lowest part of the hellfire. So, can you think that if someone do it, because all these are kabair. What is called? Kabair. Kabair means major sins. Bear in your mind, there are two kind of sin: as-saghair, minor sin, and al-kabair, major sin. So all these are four is regarded min al-kabair. So this is again the aqidah of Ahlul Sunnah unanimously that by committing kabair, someone is not becoming kafir. As far as the munafiq, he is worse than kafir. Innal munafiqina fi darkil asfali minan nar. They will be on the lowest level of the hellfire. So then how you can understand this hadith? So now the ulama says that to understand this is very easily, there are some interpretation of this hadith. One is that these are the characteristic of the hypocrites. The hypocrisy is in two types. One is an-nifaqul akbar or one an-nifaqul asghar. The major nifaq hypocrisy, the minor hypocrisy. Some ulama called it an-nifaqul i'tiqadi and the other one an-nifaqul amali. An-nifaqul akbar, the major nifaq, is called it an-nifaqul i'tiqadi, the hypocrisy related to faith. And an-nifaqul asghar, the minor nifaq related to your al-amali, related to your deed, related to your amal. So now the Quran which says, Innal munafiqina fi dharki al-asfali min an-nar, they will be in the lowest part of the hellfire. And all the curse for the munafiqeen, it is related to the an-nifaqul i'tiqadi or an-nifaqul akbar, whatever you call it. These two terms used for it. In these people were in the time of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, they were declared. And if you read Surah Baqarah, in the beginning, there are signs of the mu'mineen, ulaika ala hudan min rabbihim wa ulaika humul muflihun. In these verses, the sign of mu'mineen, yu'minuna bima unzila ilayka wa ma unzila min qablika wa yuqimuna as-salata wa yutuna az-zakata wa bil akhirati hum yuqinun. And then two verses about the kuffar. إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتم أم لم تنذروا لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. After these two verses, 13 verses all about the munafiqeen. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُم بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. From here it started 13 verses of their characters. So these hypocrites actually, they used to show they are Muslim, but in reality they were not Muslim. And they were trying everything to damage Islam, living, penetrating in Muslim society. And the reason was they couldn't challenge it openly. And the Ra'isul Munafiqeen was Abdullah bin Ubay, the one who's supposed to be the leader in Medina. Even some historian says the crown of a leadership was ready for him to be regarded the leader. But by the time they were thinking to make the Ansar of Medina, those who became Muslim, by the time they were preparing to make him the leader, the Prophet ﷺ, when he migrated to Madinatul Munawwara, then all the plan has gone. All the plan finished. So this person, along with his people, had a great hatred for the Prophet ﷺ and great hatred for Islam. But because majority of their tribe, majority of their followers, majority of their family members, they have accepted Islam, so they couldn't challenge it publicly. They knew that we will not succeed. Now majority of the people are become the lover of the Prophet ﷺ, the follower of the Prophet ﷺ, and they become true Muslim. So then they started hypocrisy then. Even in the Battle of Uhud, on a minor issue, on a very minor issue, just to see the defeat of the Muslim, 300 roughly along with Abdullah bin Ubay, while they were going for the battlefield, they have let the Prophet ﷺ just rightly when the enemies were observing him. You know, when the enemy is, the army is face to face, this time showing any weakness is a sign of defeat. The reason the enemy get courage, oh, they are defeated, they show the sign of weakness. In this time, Abdullah bin Ubay pulled off along with some people, just giving an excuse, you are not listening how to. So many times, even Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala, when they blame her, coming back from one battlefield and created fitna. This Abdullah bin Ubay, when you read his character, such a devious person, comes to Friday in the company of the Prophet ﷺ, and after listening the khutbah of the Prophet, sometimes he used to stand and say, you know, this is the great Prophet, this is the great person. People listen to him, follow him. And as soon as he leave the masjid, outside he used to start spinning conspiracy. These are na'uzubillah stories, they learn from here, they say that. Every conspiracy, such a big munafiq. All the time creating fitna in Medina and conspiracy and trying to encourage enemies and incite enemies to attack on the Prophet ﷺ, to attack on Islam. So they were the biggest headache for Islam was not the outsider enemies, the inner enemies, those who were living with them. And their strategy, they have to create. So that's why 13 verses just in the beginning mentioned. And what is their character? Amanna billahi wa bil yawmil akhir. If you challenge them, you believe in Islam, I believe in Islam. You believe in Allah, I believe in Allah. So what is the problem? But Allah says in their heart, يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. They are deceiving those who are accepted Islam, their own family members, their own people of tribe, and all other believers. وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ. Allah says they are not doing anything, but they are actually deceiving themselves. وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. But they don't realize with this they will never gonna get anything. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ. Now here is, nifaq is a disease of heart. Nifaq is a disease of heart. Your appearance is very okay. MashaAllah, you are believer, you are this. في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كانوا يكذبون. A great torment is waiting for them. وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض. When the people used to tell them, don't spread corruption and disorder, why you are creating this case? قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون. We are not doing this to create disruption. We are doing this to correct everything. We are mentioning all these faults just to bring more peace. And we are just need to pay your attention to in every single corruption and every single disorder, every single fasad. After doing it, we used to become the very pious people. Innama nahnu muslihun. We did everything for the favor of the Muslim. We did everything for your benefit. We want you to just correct yourself more and just become Allah innahum humul mufsidun walakin la yashurun. And then Allah said, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ النَّاسُ. And when they used to be said, bring Iman, why you are not becoming a Muslim? You claim you are a Muslim. Become Muslim like Abu Bakr. Become Muslim like Umar, like Usman, like Ali, like Bilal, like Su'aib, Ridwanullah ta'ala majmeen. You know what they used to say to their people? Kama amana nas, like these people. Qalu anu'minu kama amana sufa. They are a fool. When the Prophet asked them, bring your wealth, they bring their wealth. When the Prophet asked them, go to battlefield, they go for the battlefield. When the Prophet asked them, leave your houses, they leave. These are fools. They don't have na'uzu billah aqal. Qalu anu'minu. Shall we be like fool like them? Anu'minu kama amana sufa. Astaghfirullah. See, for them the sincerity with the Prophet ﷺ, the attachment with the Prophet ﷺ, the ready to sacrifice everything for Islam, this was a sign of their foolness. They said they don't have aql. So we can't be like them. Bewaquf na'uzu billah. Allah said, Allah innahum sufa. He said, you think they don't have aql. They are fool. In reality, you are fool. You are sacrificing the paradise and the rizwan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based on this material world. And then the other character Quran says, وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا. When they come to the believers, he said, you know, we are like you. You are reading namaz, I am reading namaz. You are fasting, I am fasting. You are doing this, I am doing this. وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَى شَيَاطِينِهِمْ. And when they used to go back to their shayateen, to the devious people, those who were great hate for Islam, قَالُوا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ. Don't worry, we are just deceiving them. We are with you. We are with you. إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْتَهْزِئُونَ. Then why you are doing with them? What you are doing on a Friday with them? Why do you were there in their gathering? إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْتَهْزِئُونَ. We are just mocking with them. إِسْتِهْزَاءً. This nifaq, since then till now, because this is a matter of your heart, inner feeling, you can't disclose it to someone. In the time of the Prophet ﷺ, because he used to have a nuzulul wahi, the Jibrili Amin, and he declared them. Nowadays you can't go for this. And the biggest price the ummah is paying because of these kind of munafiqeen, but we don't know them. This i'tiqad, nifaq al-i'tiqadi, still there are people. Go in a big battlefield, the Muslim being defeated because of these munafiqeen. Go, whenever you go somewhere, you will see the people. The biggest countries are suffering. The biggest civilizations are suffering. Great people have suffered because of this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from this. So this kind of hypocrisy, when you are only Muslim to deceive it, you are only Muslim to defeat it, you only Muslim to create chaos in Islam, you are only Muslim to create disruption in Islam, you are only Muslim to create fitna in Islam. This kind of hypocrites, yes, Allah says, Innal munafiqina fi dharkil asfali minan nar. They will be the lowest level of hellfire. Because they are worse than kuffar, they are worse than non-believers, because the non-believers face to face, you know them, what they thinking, what they believe, you can deal with them. This class, you can't deal at all with them. Because they are not accepting anything. They just pretending like you, sometimes pretending better than you. So this kind of nifaq, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Whenever you read the history, this is my final word, read the history of Islam. The biggest loss, the biggest defeat, the biggest problem, the biggest fitna in Muslim community and society is not from very outsider enemies. The biggest cause of the fitna is these inner side, those who pretend to be, but only there to make you defeated and make you create chaos in your society. And they have hate for Islam and hate for the Prophet ﷺ. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us. The further hadith inshallah I will continue for tomorrow, but this was only the first time, an-nifaqul i'tiqadi or an-nifaqul akbar. May Allah protect us from it. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم علمنا بما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما إنك أنت العليم الحكيم برحمتك يا أرحم